Say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time.
Many people go through life and they say, yeah, you know, I reached that 30 point or that 35 point or that 40 point, and I am now deciding that I'm having a midlife crisis. But we decided to call it a midlife reevaluation because we thought that was a much more peaceful term. It was a much more positive term, you know, rather than saying crisis, it was in a reevaluation. We put it. We're jumping off the treadmill and we're taking a break. And so we booked a 2-month holiday to Costa Rica, and we called it our midlife reevaluation. Sometimes what we need to do is we need to step outside of the race, off the treadmill, away from all the stimulus, and just get back to what's really important, right? Get grounded. And for us, that was stepping back into nature and roughing it. We said we're only taking 1 pack each. We're just taking, 4 or 5 changes of clothes. We're going for 2 months, and whatever we need, we'll buy there. We will just live frugally. And it's just really cool to see how when we step out of that rat race, what happens is the child comes out, right? Our playfulness comes out. Otherwise, we're so serious all the time. And you can see this when you're walking downtown during busy time, and you look at people's faces. They're so strained. They're so serious. It almost seems like it's a constant effort to hold that look on their face, right? And you just want to run up and go, tickle, tickle. Usually what happens is we find that something that used to work for us isn't necessarily working for us anymore. For me, for example, being a realtor, it used to work. I used to like to be on call. I used to like to have the cell phone. I used to like to have the pager, and the cell phone would go off and be like, oh, somebody's calling me. Woo! I gotta call the office. You felt so. I felt important at that time. It was important for me to feel important, and that worked for me for a period of time. It kind of floated my boat, so to speak. And then as the years progressed, that got old, and I needed to change something. I didn't like being on call. I didn't like being in demand. I didn't like that I was so overly concerned with meeting everybody's needs all the time, and usually the one that didn't get their needs met was me at the end of the day. And there's so much talk nowadays about the law of attraction, and there's so much talk about ask, believe, receive, and set your intentions, and I want you to know that I really think all of that is awesome and great, and I was extremely inspired by it. And I think that there's a part 2, 3, and 4 to that series that is coming. But I'd like to talk about that, because I think what we're really talking about today is that when you set your intentions and you're moving forward towards your goals, and things don't go necessarily how you plan them, there is a huge invitation to feel bad about that. Set the intentions, you've made the dream board, you've gone in that direction, you've visualized, you've done your affirmations, you've been positive, you've breathed, you've tai chi'd, you've yogaed, you've walked, you did everything, and then all of a sudden, it's not happening. What do you do? A year ago, I was given an opportunity to do a series of radio shows via the website. And I was so excited about this. I just said to myself, this is my ticket. Like, I am going for it. This is it. I'm telling you, there is no stopping me now. And I was in the shower visualizing, sitting on Oprah's couch and everything. Like, I tell you, I would be walking out every morning and I'd be visualizing this coming together. And I'm telling you, I thought, how could I fail? I was doing all the right things. I made a dream board, and I ask, believe, receive, right? What happened? And so the reality hit that this did not turn out the way I had visualized it, nor intended it. And there was a huge shift in my consciousness at that point. And I started to look at myself and say, you know, am I really okay? I'm condemned, that's what it is. I'm just condemned, and I'm just, you know, I'm doomed to fail. That's just me, right? And then, so then what happens is you start to hear historical references come up, you know, of times past, right? And you're like, oh, yeah, right, okay, that did happen to me before. This is in my genes. It's in my DNA. Yeah, taking a step back to reevaluate and look at it from the outside. One thing that I know for sure is that I did have a clear vision, and it felt real to me, and I had dreams, and I had feelings inside my belly that were so real I could literally wrap my arms around them. I know that there's some things gonna unfold. I don't know what that picture looks like, but here's what I know today. I'm willing to let go of the picture I had and follow the feeling instead. And I said that what was really important is that I did my best. What I said is that I kept going. I didn't stop. I didn't quit. And what's really important now is that I keep doing it, and I be open to the ever-evolving and ever-changing way that I can do what I do best, which I think is to help people get in touch with their hearts. And so I jumped back into my heart, and I looked at my life through the lens of my heart, and that's what I see. And if it means only inspiring one person, then at the end of my life would be worth it. It would absolutely be worth it. And when I say that, I know it's true for me because I can feel tears. I can feel emotion because that is true for me. We encounter all kinds of crazy, wild things in our life. Hey, you know, troubles and tragedies and death and misfortune and loss and, you know, lots of things that knock our feet right out from underneath us. And to in that moment to say, well, what positive spin could you put on this bend in the road? I wouldn't blame you if you slapped me. You know, honestly. But you handle the emotion. You go through your bend in the road, and maybe one day you get to the point where you can stand back and you look at your life and say, this is the positive meaning that I'm going to now choose to put on this turn of events, right? I want to be doing something that when I wake up in the morning, I want to get up. I'm looking forward to that alarm going off. Some kind of contributor to the greater good in some way, shape, or form. You know? And so getting back to, okay, what am I all about? What's my purpose? And who am I really at this juncture? You have to take a step back, I think, during this reevaluation process. And you have to take a look and see, how badly do I want to get there? How important is it to me? And if it's really important, you're going to feel that passion. You're going to feel that fire. It's going to matter to you. And you're going to find a way to get there. And it might look very, very, very different than the pictures on your dream board. But what won't change is the feeling you have. That gut feeling. Rethink it. You do the regroup, rethink, reevaluate, reorganize, refocus, and all the other re's that you need to do to go, well, maybe it has changed, and it's okay if it has. And so it's a lot about tuning into what is right and real for you. I can and will adjust my sails if I need to.